it's me, Mr. Miguel, and I'm here to teach you some math. We're going to work on extended facts. It's taking facts that you already know or are familiar with and making them bigger, taking those numbers and making even bigger numbers. It's going to be fun. It's really enjoyable. I can't wait to show you this. Maybe some of you already know some of the tricks. Let's get started on looking at some extended facts. We're going to jump into a word problem first. So you are definitely going to need a piece of paper and a pencil for today. Go ahead and grab those things and then let's get started. Here is the problem that I need you to work on your paper. The field day racetrack is 80 meters long. How many meters will the racers travel if they run the track 8 times? Basically, what is going to happen in this problem is a racer will start here, run around the track, and then they're going to have to do that again. Each time they go all the way around, it will be 80. So how far will they have gone if they do that 8 times? Go ahead on your paper, figure that out. Now, there are a lot of ways to solve this problem. Does anybody have a way to solve the problem? Go ahead, shout it out right now at home how you solve the problem. Count to 5. Those are great ways. Does anybody have a different way of solving the problem? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, third grader who looks way too big to be in third grade. Do you have a way to solve this problem? Yes! Thanks for calling on me. I have a great way to solve this. I just count by 80s. Counting by 80s, no big deal. 80 the first time. Second time, 160. Third time, 240. Fourth time, 320. Fifth time, 400. Sixth time, 480. Seventh time, 560. And then, of course, the eighth time, 640. You just have to be able to count by 80. No big deal. As always, a third grader who is too big to be in third grade and wearing sunglasses. And I thought we talked about that already. That you are right. That is one way to solve this problem, just counting by 80s. But for some people, counting by 80s isn't easy. Let's look at a couple other suggestions. Maybe you'll see yours on the screen and you can be like, oh, that's how I did it. So we'll look at a couple of ways to solve this problem. 2 other solutions other than the really big third grader's solution. You could combine 2 80s into 160, then do this. 160 plus 160 equals 320. And then you do the same thing for the other 80s. 160 plus 160 equals 320. Now, if you take that 320 plus that 320, it would equal 640, and that's how many times you would go around. It just is making it a little bit easier to add. This is another suggestion right here. 8 times 80 might be too hard, but if you know 8 times 8 equals 64, which I know a lot of you know, and 80 is 10 times bigger, so 8 times 80 would be 640, and that means that 64 and 640 are 10 times bigger. We are going to be looking at this suggestion number 2 today and applying that to our thinking, because that's what the whole point of our lesson today is. It's all about extending those multiplication and division facts. Let's get into thinking about extending facts. Don't lose that paper because you're still going to need it. Third graders, I want you to copy these 3 problems down. 2 times 3 equals. 2 times 30 equals. 2 times 300 equals. I want you to see if you can answer each of those. Our goal is we're going to look for a pattern that we could use that can help us do this more quickly and also understand the math behind this. Go ahead, stop the video right now so you can answer these. All right, we're back at it. We're going to do 2 times 3 first. I'm going to use these base 10 blocks to make a point about how to think about this. This could also, instead of saying 2 times 3, I could say 2 groups of 3. Here's 1, 2, 3. There's one group of 3 hanging out, having a great time. But this says 2 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, when I have 2 groups of 3 hanging out, having a good time, I'm going to end up with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am going to end up having 6 as my answer. Pretty good. Now, we're going to start looking for a pattern here. Now, this says 2 groups of 30. So instead of doing groups of 3 like I did here, I have to do groups of 30. But I can grab a base 10 block and grab 10 at a time. 10, 20, 30. But that, I'm not finished because that's just one group of 30. I need to get 2 groups of 30. Get some more. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is a lot more blocks, but instead of having to count 1 at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can count by 2 groups of 30. So I could say 30 times, or 30 plus 30, and I'm going to get 60. You might be noticing something happening as well with what the numbers look like. I'm noticing a little bit of a pattern here. I see a 6 here, and I see a 6 here. Now, I don't know if I can do a problem this hard. This is definitely seems a little bit beyond 3rd grade, but I'm still going to give it a try. It says 2 times 300. That means 2 groups of 300s. I'm going to have to grab the big hundreds. Raw, there's 100, 200, 300. But I'm not finished because I need to grab 2 groups of 300. 100, 200, 300. Now, I could count by hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. That would be 600. Wait a second. There is a pattern beginning to form with this problem. Does anyone see this pattern? You're right. You see a 6 right there. And then you don't, in this problem, you have a 0 here and the 0 is there because this problem is 10 times as big. And then you see this problem has 2 zeros here because 300 is 10 times as big as 30, but it's 100 times as big as 3. So the answer is 100 times as big. But the pattern stays the same. You're just counting, or you're just multiplying the first digit. Like 2 times 3 is 6, but then you know you're in the hundreds. You're counting hundreds, not ones. So you just have to make sure you do that. In 2 times 30, you're counting tens, so you know that you have to make sure in your answer you're counting tens. But you could think about it as 2 times 3 equals 6. And this is called a helper fact that could help you answer these problems. Let's look at another one. Make sure this works. All right, 3rd graders, this is our 2nd practice problem and our last practice problem for today. Once we're finished with this practice problem, and then we're finished for today. So I would like you to write 3 times 5 equals, what do you think that equals? 3 times 50, what does that equal? 3 times 500, what does that equal? Go ahead, write down what you think each of these equals in your notebooks. Stop the video here. All right, let's look at this pattern again. So this means 3 groups of 5. So if I'm going to use these blocks, I'm going to have 3 groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can just count by 5 3 times. 5, 10, 15. So I know 3 times 5 is 15. Awesome. Now I can start taking that knowledge and apply it to this harder problem. Now it's 50. Oh, I'm a little bit afraid of 50, but I know that instead of counting by ones, I can just count by tens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can count by fives. 5, 10, 15. I have 15, but I don't have 15 ones. I have 15 tens. So that would really be counting by 50, like 50, 100, 150. But that number is going to look super duper familiar because it's 15 with a 0, because this is 10 times bigger, because 50 is 10 times bigger than 5. Let's see if the same thing will happen here with this last one. Got to move some of these out of the way. Guys, you need to move out of the way here. We'll do the 100 example down here at the bottom. So it's 3 times 500. Now I'm going to grab hundreds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing each time, but now I'm not dealing with ones or tens, I'm dealing with hundreds. So that would be 500, 1,000, 1,500. But it's going to look really familiar because you're going to see that 15, and then you're going to see the 2 zeros at the end. Look at that. This, and this. From 5 to 50 is 10 times bigger. From 50 to 1,500 is 10 times bigger. And from 5 to 500 is 100 times bigger. That's where those zeros are coming from. This is a pattern that you can use to help you get your answers more quickly. Third graders, great work today. This is part 1 of the 2-part lesson. Tomorrow we're going to be using our book to do some work. Hopefully you're seeing the patterns and how those patterns work, and we're going to apply that knowledge tomorrow to our book. What a great day today. I love having you watch these videos. I love making them, knowing that your math is growing and growing. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.